This is going to be a good video. We're redoing this intro right now.
No, we're not. Aaron, if you redo it, I'm firing you and putting you in the basement permanently. Which handheld is the best tier? S tier? F tier? We're going to go with it.
No, you got to get the tape. What is that?
Game Boy Advance SP.
Moving on.
No.
What more do you need to say about the world's greatest console?
In 2003, AA batteries were so much more prevalent than the proprietary power cable that came with the SP that you had to recharge.
Let me just take a guess. You weren't paying for your own batteries in 2003, were you?
I was working at Radio Shack at the time, and I had a big old discount.
The Game Boy Advance was the pinnacle, in my opinion, of Nintendo handhelds. You also had a folding clamshell design. Can I put it to S+ tier right now?
No.
You're upsetting me.
Oh my God.
If I have one veto in this entire thing, I'm gonna burn on the very first item. This stays at S tier.
Fine,
I love the Game Boy Advance SP.
You want to use your one veto of the episode? I'll give it to you. You know what? You're not gonna be able to veto.
You gotta just pick them
up.
up.
It's like suction cupping to the table.
We have little bits of tape on all of these so they'll stick on the board.
DSi.
Do you want a fun fact?
Yeah.
I spent my very first YouTube paycheck on a DSi and Pokemon Heart Gold.
I'm gonna put it in
B. Well, I'm actually gonna say C. I actually think today, if I'm gonna play a DS game, I'd rather play it on a DS Lite. I like the size of it. It was an upgrade, but it wasn't a true upgrade in my opinion.
All right.
Wait, can I pick one?
Yeah, you go ahead. You go ahead and pick one.
Just tell me when to stop.
Stop.
The new 3DS XL. Okay, so this is the last of the non-Switch handhelds, right? So it had an extra joystick.
It was fine. But like, it had more power, but like, what were you doing with that power?
Not a lot. Honestly, I mean, I think that the new 3DS, unlike the DSi, which actually removed features, the new 3DS was an improvement. The XL was a little big. I preferred the regular size, but I'm going to just say C as well. This feels like a very DSi-ish.
Yeah.
Can you please pick a non-Nintendo console?
The Sega Game Gear. Look, man, this was the first handheld console with color.
The Game Gear was cool, but I feel like I've lost my nerd card, so you... Wow, A?
And you could also play Sega Master System cartridges with an adapter.
All right, I'm going to pick one right now. I'm going to go... Kenzie, tell me when to stop.
Stop.
The Switch!
The
Switch has to be ranked pretty highly, right? Not only is this on track to be one of the most popular consoles of all time, Nintendo is still selling them like absolute hotcakes 5 years after their release. So it's not a super powerful console, but the development tools are terrific, and Nintendo have done a good job of supporting it. Now, mind you, the Switch doesn't have the performance to play like a PS4 or Xbox One game in the same settings, but most games can be ported to the Switch in a pretty important way. And of course, there are tons of Pokemon games, Zelda games, all the classic Nintendo titles that work really well on the Switch. This has got to be A tier for me.
I think it's B because I think what's ahead of it. I don't think there's a Switch that's S tier.
You think that like the OLED or the Lite is better than the...
I do. I definitely do.
You think B? Wow. Matt, that's harsh. That's harsh.
It's not meant to be harsh. It's meant to be fair. If I had it my way, all consoles would be handhelds. So.
And cloud-based too, apparently.
Pick another one.
Pick one.
I don't want to pick one. We need better tape, apparently.
The 3DS.
The 3DS.
Original.
The 3D was more gimmick than anything. I personally don't know anyone who really played with it. They usually just turned it off.
It also wasn't that good, right?
Yeah,
so almost every other version of the 3DS is better than the launch one, in my opinion. So if we're going to take the regular Switch as B and the potentially like OLEDs, I mean, this was expensive and they had to cut the price, but they did kind of bring it up.
That's my thoughts. It was so expensive. It was bad hardware and it was expensive.
All right.
So I'm going to do one now. The Game Boy Color.
Oh, that's going to be high.
Oh, yeah. Nothing matters other than this came in this translucent purple.
And lime green. So this is 9 years after the original Game Boy. And the only real difference was that it had color support. The games were slightly more higher fidelity.
Yeah.
So for a next generation Game Boy, it was a very minor upgrade. I'm leaning toward B for this one. It was not a massive upgrade, and it took them 9 years to barely iterate on the original Game Boy. But it was good.
All right. I'll give you B. I'll give you B.
All right, moving on. Oh no, it's a Sega Nomad. The one I thought.
Nomad!
Okay, basically this is just a Genesis that you can use portably, which meant that the battery life was terrible.
Yep.
And that it was not very good.
It was based on the MegaJet, a portable version of the Genesis for airline flights.
Look, this got to be D or F is my thought. This thing just was not very good.
I will give you the big fat F. All right, I'm gonna go with.
Stop cheating. Just pick one. You can't look at which one it is.
The Logitech Cloud.
Moving on.
Yeah.
Moving on.
F. Go ahead and pick one.
We're just gonna move on from that one.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Cool. Game Boy Advance. This is pretty much life size.
Yeah.
Game Boy Advance, as you could probably tell from my ranking of the SP, was, I think, the pinnacle of the Game Boy line. It still kept backwards compatibility. Pretty much all Game Boy and Game Boy Color games work.
I have a Steam Deck.
Yep.
And I don't have a single game on that Steam Deck that isn't a Game Boy game. My nostalgia glasses have been surgically grafted to my face when it comes to the Game Boy Advance.
It's also comfy too, right? Like, this is the
it was
only
ergonomically, it was amazing.
Matt, do not. No, Matt. No, not on top of it. How dare you? Get that down. I can't veto him. I'm so mad right now. It was not as good as the SP. Hey, get that down there.
Because I'm saving my veto
Okay, good.
for something more nefarious.
All right, my turn.
Yeah, your turn.
I'm gonna go all the way to the PS Vita. So the Vita, I think, is a little bit of a complicated one because this was a true successor to the PSP. I mean, a beautiful OLED display, a touchscreen interface. You had the rear touch panel.
The problem I have with the Vita is we're gonna get an earful for this for having to look at Vita face. It's really good hardware. Sony did nothing with it.
Yeah.
And because of that, I'm giving it at best a B.
Oh, I was actually gonna say C. Vita was good, but Vita never really hit its full true potential like the PSP.
And I'm blaming Sony for that. I'm like, yeah.
What? Matt blaming Sony for something? I can't believe it.
Sorry, Sony ponies. The Xbox handheld was so much better. The DS.
Oh, the original fat model.
DS. I don't know. Like, it's so chunky.
Yeah.
Which, obviously chunky is great, but this guy here just wasn't. It wasn't it.
Let's be charitable for a second. No, hold on, wait. Calm down. Stop.
Hey,
Calm down.
I don't know what you're talking about. I didn't do anything.
The DS did bring a lot of things, right? So obviously the DS line was tremendously successful. It brought in a touchscreen, which was very exciting, and it was a really cool gimmick, as well as a microphone. And it had 2 screens, aka the Nintendo DS. Dual screen.
Is that what that
That's what it
stands
means.
for?
I also is Nintendo DS for the shit.
Well, it's going.
No, wait, stop.
It's going to D. That's what that D stands for.
I'm noticing that we have a trend here. The original 3DS and the DS are in D tier, and I feel like every other slim model and upgrade are going to be.
Yeah, because they improved upon them. You know what else they improved upon?
Yeah,
The Switch Lite.
But how are we going to rank this one, Matt? So I will just get my cards on the table right now. I use a Switch Lite, not because it's the cheapest one, but because I never plug my Switch into the TV. And as much as the Joy-Cons are nice, Joy-Cons to me, when you're using it in handheld mode, there's a little bit of creakiness with your Switch. No matter what kind of Switch you're using, like to me, that bothers me. The fact that this is a full, proper unit.
I'm going to give this one.
Whoa, okay, wait. Before you stick that tape on there, I cannot in good conscience give it an A. I can give it a B. No. Here's the thing, though. I can give it a B. Here's the thing.
I'm confused by how much by how hard you argued for the regular Switch to go to B.
No one's gonna say the Switch Lite is better except me, but that's just because I'm a weirdo who likes small.
I fully agree with you. Wait, what? What was that last part? The 2DS.
Actually, though,
look,
I can make an argument for this.
I can make an argument for this one too, because it shed the stupid gimmick of 3D that no one really cared about.
Yeah. When this first got announced, myself and pretty much everyone thought that it was an April Fool's joke. It looked ridiculous. After actually spending some time with the 2DS, and I've made many videos over the years on the 2DS. First of all, it was available for cheap. So I think it was like $130 new, but it went down to $100.
Oh, it went even cheaper. Ready for this one? Yeah. I bought mine for $49.99.
The 2DS also, I'll be real, was the most comfortable version of the 3DS line for me. I would at least give it a B. I really liked the 2DS.
So pick one. I picked the last couple.
DSi XL. I didn't like this one. It was, I believe, the first time that Nintendo had done a bigger version of a console, not a smaller version, which would become the standard going forward. D.
So we'll go with DS Lite.
I liked this. So
again,
this
one was decent.
The DS Lite had much better hardware than the original DS, and basically had all of the upgrades you wanted. The problem is though, we put the regular DS in D, and the DS Lite, while better, it was basically just the same thing except in a better chassis.
I would give it a B.
I can give
I would give it a B.
Okay. The Switch OLED. It's good.
Yeah, it's great. What can you say about the Switch OLED that hasn't already been said about?
How about this? You take a Switch and you give it an OLED screen and you change the name and charge $349.99. Available at nintendo.com/Austin for a 0% discount.
This screen is really good.
The screen is really good.
Really good.
The only thing I can really ding the Switch OLED for is that unlike the DSi, unlike the new 3DS, this does not have any more performance. This does not have any additional capabilities. Where are you on this? I could go either A or B on it.
I'm going A on that one. That was my plan all along. I just, like, yeah, it's pricey, but I think that price is worth it when you're looking at it. So, all right, what do we got next? The PSP.
Oh,
PSP,
okay.
I have a love-hate relationship with. I was an early adopter of mini disc.
Oh, good Lord, Matt.
I got so excited when the PSP came out. I'm like, I have all these mini discs. I had little cases of mini discs. I couldn't use it. But PSP was good. I'm putting this solid in B.
Whoa, no, hell no. Hell no. A or S?
I
A
would
minimum.
All right.
A. I'm like with this. I'm A, but like peeking. It's just peeking a little into S.
You put on the line? You could get Step Brothers for it. Here we go. Easy one. 3DS XL.
It's exactly the same as the DSi XL. It was the 3DS, except just a little bit bigger. Meh. Oh, now I'm covering it. Everyone can see. It's right there. Why is a PlayDate here? This is not... Okay.
It's a handheld.
No offense to Panic, who have made a terrific little console. I don't know, Matt. No, I'm not. I don't think this goes... This goes... Okay.
All right, go ahead and we're here.
New 2DS XL. Okay. Ew. It would be easy to say that the new 2DS XL should go into the XL tier. However, this actually was better than it seemed. It had the more powerful performance because it was a new console, and it actually had really pretty nice screens, nice hardware. I'm gonna say it at least it belongs in C. C is like every console. You're either good or not good, but C is like the baseline.
All right, if you want to, where are you going to put the PSP Go?
So it was ahead of its time. So this was an all-digital version of the PSP.
It was ahead of its time, but so late at the same time.
Way too ahead of its time. It was a full digital console. No ability to play UMD, so you had to download stuff. I actually would normally say it's a little higher, but the problem is that because they've shut the PSP store down, this is quite literally a useless console unless you have games downloaded. I'm going to say C. Yeah. It was good. It just wasn't... This is becoming chaos. Okay, all right. That's I don't like that.
All right, we got the nVidia Shield portable.
The portable?
The portable.
Oh man. So the Shield was an interesting console because it ran Android. It was a touchscreen as well as it had a nice big chunky grip, controller, everything. It was all kind of built in. Ultimately, it did kind of fail, and I think largely because this was at a time in which the Vita was starting to kind of wind down. Micro consoles were a thing.
Yeah.
People thought that Android had a real future of being a real gaming platform, but ultimately everyone just decided to play free-to-play games. I'm gonna give this like a D. It was okay. It was not super strong, but I
have to abstain because I didn't play it. The Game Boy Lite. Now, this is not light as in weight. It is light as in this was a backlit version of the Game Boy Pocket.
This makes me sad. It was essentially a Game Boy Pocket that had a backlit screen, but it was not a very good one. Where are you going with this? What? You're putting it in C? Nah, D.
D? Yeah.
Okay, that one's stuck, so I'll let you get it.
The Game Boy Micro.
Oh, wow. The Micro was essentially a Game Boy Advance shrunk to the absolute minimum. The screen was like 2 inches and change. It dropped the headphone jack, but it had a little dongle before dongles were cool. Matt, can I tell you one of my deep regrets in life?
What is that?
So when these came out, they did not sell particularly well. I don't remember how much they were at the time. I was at an FYE, maybe 2006, 2007. And they had in the front little like glass cabinet, absolutely stacked full of Game Boy Micros. Do you know how much they were selling them for, Matt?
How much were they selling them for?
$20.
$20?
If you're watching this video, maybe take a pause and take a look at how much a Game Boy Micro costs today. I would have been rich. I would have been rich. I could have cleaned that cabinet out. This thing was neat, but it ultimately, I think, was way too flawed. And it came out way too late, right? People were buying DSs. No one wanted to buy a Game Boy Micro. Like, it just didn't make sense. C, D, I don't know.
I'd be inclined for D.
Yeah. D is very crowded, but...
D is crowded because Nintendo doesn't always make good games.
All right, final three, Matt.
Final three.
Hit me.
The Game Boy Pocket.
a good console.
So it was a more power efficient, lighter, about half the size.
It also ran on 2 AAAs instead of like 4 AAs, which was very nice. I'm like B or C.
You know what? There's room here. I'm gonna put it right on that line there.
This tier list is the most chaotic thing we've ever made. Second to last is
The Steam Deck.
what do we gonna do with the Steam Deck, Matt? What?
I'll be honest, I think it's a solid A. Where I do worry with the Steam Deck that it's a little outdated. Development took a little while, but it's doing really well. Valve is doing a ton to make this optimized.
They are.
But I think A is very comfortable for this.
I think A's a little generous, but I can give it an A.
Yeah. So that means we have one more left in this.
What possibly could we have not covered at this point?
The one that I saved for last, specifically so I can veto whatever you say.
Oh no.
The original Game Boy came out in 1989, and this dominated the world.
You don't need to... Well, hey! Hey!
It is
Plenty of
the
space
S
up there.
tiers of the S tier.
Put some respect on the SP's name.
This thing, Nintendo didn't had this out for almost 10 years because they didn't need to make improvements on it. Because
More than 4 colors?
Who needs it?
Green, and dark green are all the colors I need.
Speaking of all the colors you need, like, subscribe, follow, and check us out for the next one. Let us know what your S tier is. Let us know what your F tier is. Let us know what the PlayDate is. That even part of the handheld
it's
thing?
not.
And rate us 5 stars if you're time traveling.
Ah.